Lovely. Cristina, all yours.
Okay. Let me think.
Ooh, meditating.
Um, okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back again with a new episode of Gamhers. I'm Cristina, and also Nadine is with me. So, Nadine.
Of course, now today's star of the episode is the one and only Momoko.
Hello. Thank you for
Hello,
having
Momoko.
me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, I'm not going to steal the spotlight, so the spotlight is all yours. The introductions is in your hands.
Okay, I am Momo. I mean, it's Momoko, but you can call me Momo. It's easier. I am a streamer, talent, esport talent. I do interviews. I also cast and I host sometimes. I also am a pharmacist and I like anime and I also cosplay. So I have a lot of hobbies, but yeah.
Wow, full
Nice to meet
house. Quite the hobbies. Interesting. So,
I'm also into sports.
of course. So here's now. Let's start with the first question of them all. How did you join the world of gaming? Were you, I mean, were you influenced into the world of gaming, or did you just naturally got interested into gaming?
I think I grew up playing video games because my siblings were playing games, so it was never like introduced. It was like something born with, I guess, because since forever I've been playing games, whether on PS1, Xbox, Game Boy. So yeah, I was never not a gamer, which is a weird thing to say. But it was always a hobby, I always balanced my studies and everything. So I was never like a hardcore gamer, I would say.
Yeah, but you were like a
So,
born gamer. Like you just,
yeah.
gaming, play games, beat your siblings if you
Yep.
get the chance.
But this is
But
something
siblings
that
are pretty good. It's pretty hard to beat.
this is something that we were talking in the last interview, if I remember well, that
Mhm.
there is always someone in the family that introduced you to this
Yeah,
sector. No?
it's
So
like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's really
and
interesting.
it's my siblings.
and notice it's not. I'm not. I'm trying to grasp it because you see, we've had this long debate about men and women within esports or in the gaming industry, and we always say that there is kind of a myth that women were never interested at the start in games, but they are influenced into the world of game. Now that's not a fact, but it's been, it's like a repetitive pattern. We always see like when it comes to game, are always the first ones to always talk about the games. Then women are along the way get interested into it. So it's like I can't say it's a myth, but it is like a long debate, a long never-ending debate. Like we say
Yeah.
in this case, like for example in your case, if your siblings weren't playing games, I'm assuming you wouldn't have been interested in the world of gaming.
Yeah, but my siblings are girls and boys, so
So it's a mix. That breaks the theory. Well done.
yeah. So that's wrong.
Yep.
I really don't think it's true at all, to be honest. Unless you're talking about a certain type of games. But actually, statistic wise, girls play more than guys
Mhm.
when it comes to chill games, actually. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because Candy Crush is a game, all right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, Sims is a game, so you
Mhm.
cannot consider certain type of games competitive.
Mhm.
That's gaming, but everything else is not. It is. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Correct.
And when you went inside the sector, I mean, in the gaming sector, did you are working in a project, or you have any ambition for the future, or can explain
Uh,
something?
I mean, for now, I went back to streaming. I
Mm-hmm.
started streaming in 2000, end of 2017, but like mainly 2018. I have been streaming since then, but I took a break last year to focus more on being a talent. But now I'm also back because I finished my pharmacy studies,
Mhm.
so I have more time to like stream and also be a talent. And my ambitions is just to keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully keep living out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting, no? Because you have like two backgrounds, no? Like the pharmacist background and also the gaming, no?
Mhm.
I know
Yes.
there are some cases that there are pharmacists that create I don't know how to say, like are like candies for
Mm-hmm.
players, like they give you energy or they allow you to rest, no? And this could be something that you could do in the future, no? As you're also
Honest,
pharmacist.
yeah. No, honestly, I did think before about like making a product that would help
Hmm.
gamers like to focus and more. Uh, I mean, yeah, why not in the future? It's not really my project right now because it
Hmm.
needs a lot of research and
Mhm.
Hmm.
finance. But it definitely could be something, like doable in the future. But for now, I just want to keep
Okay.
focusing on the gaming and talent part,
Mhm.
not pharmacy part.
Future
Yeah.
future merch ideas.
Yeah, why not?
Hmm.
It's as I recall from I was reading an article. You graduated pharmacist last year, correct?
Yes, correct.
And therefore you should be called doctor.
Correct.
So therefore we should have fixed the introduction and called you Doctor Momoko instead.
Sure. Go ahead. I mean, I did study 6 years for it.
I mean, and you have earned your title, so it's only natural we apply the title and your gaming into a single monument. So,
But
Doctor,
I would rather just be unknown in Momo. Like, who? She probably doesn't know anything. I like to be underrated.
come on, look, you worked hard for it, so it's only natural you have the bragging rights. So you just like mix it up, and I have the
I don't
right to
like
be
to
bragged.
brag. I have a lot of things to brag about, but I don't like to brag.
Know what? We'll brag for you.
Thanks.
So, when it comes to the games, I've noticed you like to stream Valorant and League of Legends, correct?
Yes.
If I
Yes.
may ask, why those two of all the games? What is it about those two that piqued your curiosity the most?
All right. So I, since a child, was always playing games like Crash Bandicoot, Tomb Raider, like story games and games that have an end.
Mhm.
But in 2015, end of 2015, I got introduced to League of Legends. My friends were playing it, and so I was like, also there was this character Jinx, and I really loved the visuals and everything about her. And so I was like, okay, I want to try this, even though it's really not my type. Not into online games,
Mhm.
and not games that don't have like an end.
Mhm.
I'm not into it. But I did give it a shot, and I really liked it. And I just been playing League since then, since 2015 actually, and I have been streaming League, and so I've done a lot of like League, and then new games from Riot Games started going out, like TFT, like Valorant, and I tried them too, and I really liked them.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just been hooked to Riot Games games.
And let me be honest, Riot Games are really pulling it off when it comes to their content in gaming. I mean, I've been
Exactly.
I'm going to say this in all honesty. I've been a Dota fan for nearly 15 years. Never tried League of Legends, but when I got my hands on it, just as you did, it just got interesting little bit. Although there's a big difference between both games in terms of gameplay and whatnot, but the character design always got my interest. Like recently, I think I'm starting to play Vex, and sometimes I
Ah,
play
okay.
like yeah. Look, Vex mid is fun, especially in team fights when you can fear everyone, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
crazy now. So it's
it's a
it's
cool
it's
character.
it's insane how she pulls it off. I love these kind of characters, but it's interesting. As you mentioned, you only play one character, and it automatically just hooks you into it.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things I feel like why I'm still hooked to Riot Games games is because they are more than just games. You feel like there is an entire storyline. Like every character has a story. There is Arcane, the movie. Like
Mhm.
I'm really into art.
Mhm.
That's something I forgot to mention. And so it is really important to me that the game has so many like areas to reflect on, like the music, the art, everything. So it's just like a full package, and that's
Mhm.
why I've been hooked to it. I tried playing other games. I played Overwatch, I played CS:GO, but I just always find myself going back to Valorant and League and TFT.
Your heart
Yeah, I
belongs to
think that
these
the
games.
Riot Games, Riot Games know how to
Yeah,
catch
yep, they do. They certainly do.
Yeah,
Christina?
this is something that happened to me too. Because I never play League of Legends, but my sister started and she was like, "Why don't you try?" I usually play RPG games, and I usually get the assassin characters, no? And I was like, "Okay, there are assassins in League of Legends," and she was like, "Yes, of course." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try." No? My first character was Akali, and yeah, that's why I got. I mean, Riot Games just catch me on bad. In the computer, I didn't play much because my computer is not very good. But when they just launched the
Wild
Wild Rift,
Rift?
yeah,
Yeah,
and I didn't know it.
it's
I just
so
started
good.
to play,
there
but
is a
I
story.
finally, yeah,
Sorry.
but I finally changed my line. Instead of play mid, now I play support or maybe jungle. But yeah, I started with Akali playing.
To all,
I actually, sorry, go ahead.
my apologies, but to all those who don't know, there were several games where Christina managed to carry me in games. So she's perfect. She's a pro. She won't admit it, but she is a pro. Like
I
us,
really love Wild Rift, actually.
like it's not as advanced as the PC version, but it's still competitive enough.
Mm,
And it's different, you know, it has different things from the original game. For example, Ash ult, where you can actually control it,
Yeah.
and Lux ult, where it's all over the map.
Mhm.
Like, it's kind of, it's the same game, but it's a bit different. So
Yeah.
that's what also makes it very spicy and makes you want to play Wild Rift too.
And play Timo. To all those who don't know, Timo is fun. I know he's a bad
Timo.
guy. Yes, he's fun. I know you hate me
Yeah,
for it, Christina. I'm
I love.
sorry. I'm sorry. I love to play him solo. What can I do? He's adorable.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually when something, because the game sometimes give you a random line, they didn't give you the line that you choose, and most of the time I got a top line,
Mhm.
and I always use Timo. Timo is the best for the for the
Bec-
top line.
Most enemies pick melee, so imagine your character is like sniping them all the time. It's like low HP in 5 seconds. Like goodbye to base.
Yeah,
Or you
yeah,
could
yeah.
play Vayne.
I mean, Vayne. Yes.
Mm, no,
Tempting,
I prefer Timo.
Yes.
tempting idea, tempting idea, very tempting idea. But
Yep.
let's. But yeah, I mean, the opportunities are endless, and this
Yeah,
is the beauty of it. I mean, like mobile. I know a lot of people are so pessimistic about mobile game, but come on, it's fun, it's entertaining,
yeah,
and everybody can carry people.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
Christina is carrying me, and I don't mean to brag. Like I'm diamond, and I'm getting carried. No matter how hard I try, I'm still bad. True story.
That's
We
impressive.
know something. We know something about you, that you were interviewer about Riot Games, or
Yeah. I did
okay.
work with Riot Games for the
Wow.
last 2 years
Mhm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
IEC. Was back then, I used to be the interviewer for IEC, Intel
Mm.
Arabian Cup.
Wow. So interesting. They hire you, or you just send your curriculum or something like that? Because this is really interesting,
Um,
honestly.
so basically, in 2020, I started making content on my own YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
Twitch, where I would
Ah, okay.
bring pro players and interview them. And Riot Games liked that content, and so they
Mm-hmm.
invited me, and I did
Wow.
a. I
Oh,
actually, my first interview was about Wild Rift. It was a Wild Rift interview.
wow.
Yeah, there is a tournament, and they liked it, and so they invited me for the IEC and
Mhm.
so on
Mm-hmm.
for the next year. And for this year, well, I'm actually here in Dubai because they have a project going on. I can't talk much about it,
Oh,
but
secrets.
also like working with Riot Games on it now.
Wow. Oh my gosh,
Secrecy.
Nadine. She will come back again to tell
She
us.
will tell us the secrets.
I mean,
The
it will
truth.
be. I mean, there's already like a live stream about it. It's just we make content and stuff that you
Mhm.
would see more and more being published,
Okay.
hopefully.
So
Wow.
so your route, your the ability to enter the world of esports in Europe from your expertise is through content. Because your content was so great, it managed to get the attentions of a gaming company as great as Riot.
No, definitely. I mean, thanks to Riot Games, they really gave me so many opportunities and they really believed in me and enabled me to be who I am today. And because I was streaming League of Legends, and then Valorant, I got a lot of opportunities with them,
Mhm.
and which also like encouraged me to make more content. And yeah, and that's why I'm here today. Thank
Chris,
you.
Sorry. Sorry, the alarm of my
phone
phone.
call.
It's okay.
I take it off. Don't worry.
That was
Okay.
random.
I would like to ask you: did you face any challenges in the industry? I mean, if you present any difficulties or something like that, or
I mean, I think everyone faces challenges when they want to achieve things in their life. So, of course,
Mhm,
I faced a lot of challenges, and it's mainly when people don't believe in you. But at the same time, you have to look at the people who do. And this is something we always forget is that there is always people who do, but we tend to focus on the negativity. And
Mhm.
that's something that really got to me certain years. But I'm very grateful that, that now I'm able to look past it and just try and focus on the positive. But
mhm,
for sure, there was a lot of difficulties, and I had to work a lot to achieve what I did today. And
mhm,
it came with a lot of sacrifices, like especially when it comes to streaming, where you have to stay consistent. And if you don't, then like your viewership will drop, or like people will forget about you. And this is one of the hardest things about Twitch, where you really have to stream as much as you can and be
Yeah.
consistent. And as soon as you disappear, they just kind of like have to start from zero.
Mhm.
And so I many times like I would deny invitations to go out or like family stuff just to be there and be consistent. No, I don't have any regrets, of course, because
mhm.
thanks to those sacrifices I'm here today. But definitely those were like they were sacrifices and they were challenges.
Mm. I mean, that's how it is. The benefits of negativity actually made you a better person. You facing up to the negativity
Yeah,
you've been surrounded
uh,
with.
definitely. And I'm also a very stubborn person, so it's like if someone tells you you can do this, I'm gonna do it, you know, like no matter what it takes, I am gonna do it and I'm gonna show you you're wrong. And
Mm.
yeah,
Like reverse
which is a bad
psychology.
thing.
Mm.
Yeah, which is a bad thing because sometimes you over push your limits and you just are miserable for something that's so irrelevant.
Mhm.
So it's like you have to know when to think like this and when not. But now I'm honestly less focused on what people say. I truly don't care because I proved many times that I can achieve whatever I put my mind into, and I just focus on what I truly want to do, you know?
Well, this is related with the next question. That is, what are the advices that you give to a person that wants to be in this sector? And I
Well,
think it's
yeah, for sure. If you do this for the money, wrong industry. Not gonna lie. Yeah,
yeah.
go finance or something else. I think you should do this purely by passion, honestly, because you need passion for this. Else, you're gonna
Mhm.
be very tilted and you're just gonna quit. Other than that, focus on you. Stop. Don't compare yourself with other people. Don't compare your progress. You should compare it with your own self and with you yesterday. And that's something very crucial. And I feel like this advice can help with any industry, really. So, something very specific to this industry would be in the end of the day, this is like video games. So don't stress too much, you know. It's not, you don't have a patient that will die if you you know don't give the right
No.
medication, all of that. So chill, really. I feel like there's too many people who are so stressed and stuff, but it's just games, you know. In the end of the day, it's video games. It's like
It's like
yeah,
as
that's something I would.
the thing with these things I understand is that some of us have this, well, as gamers we all have a competitive nature, and sometimes when we have
Yeah.
this urge to win and then something unexpected happened, like losing several games in a row, you're like, I want to win, but these unexpected circumstances happen. It's kind of demoralizing and agitating.
Yeah. No, definitely, I understand that. That was me yesterday. I was having a super insane loss streak on League of Legends, but now I'm good because I'm winning. But
Yeah.
it's just always good to remind yourself that hey, like you're not gonna die if you lose. Like you're fine. Everything is fine, regardless. I feel like coming from a medical background, this really helps because in the medical background, they were truly emergency. Like it was an emergency. Someone is gonna die. But now it's like,
Eh,
cool, it's chill.
relax. Breathe,
It's
inhale,
only a
exhale.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we honestly tell ourselves that just to feel better. Like it's only a game. I had a friend of mine once when I was playing and we lost. I was like, I got angry a bit, then I calmed. It's just a game. It's like you don't say. We're playing it because it's just a game. It's like okay, but
Yeah.
it's like I
And
know.
it's
I'm just
something that we truly forget. And I really love, I'm pretty sure you guys know Double Lift, the pro player in
Mhm,
NA. And
mhm,
he talked about this in the interview. I think it was in Worlds or LCS. He was like, guys, it's a game in the end of the day. I feel like
mhm.
people are taking this way too seriously. And you should, of course, but then remember, like, don't get too anxious or stressed or depressed over this.
Yeah.
There's so much more to life.
Don't let it control your emotions. You control yourself.
Yep.
I believe,
Exactly.
Christina, we've done
But I
this in the
think,
mental verse, like when we're talking about the human nature, the control, the self discipline.
yeah, exactly. But I think this kind of behavior, maybe personality about inside the video game sector is because something that you say that most of the people think that maybe gaming and esports is a place to earn money.
Mm,
So people is just focus a lot. They do everything just to get the money, and sometimes that's a big mistake, no? Because you need to leave this area like in a chill way, that as you said. No.
Yeah, money is important, of course. I just think
Yeah.
that if I don't advise anyone to um like make a living out of this purely. I think you
mhm,
should always have a backup plan just in case, because this industry in the end of the day is very new and it's not stable, especially for example in the Middle East and North Africa. I would never advise someone like, hey, you should go all in, you should quit school and just be a pro player or whatever. No, I believe that you should always have like a side job or something that's going to help finance this, you know.
mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And I know this is true because, as Nadine know, I have an esport team, and most of the people ask me always, "Why did you build an esport club?" I always say, just for fun. Of course, I'm just paying a lot of money about different tournaments and things like that. But the directive of the club, we never think about the money, because this is something that we do for fun because we love it.
Yeah.
No, of course there are some financiation. A lot of organization can give you some money, no, but the real thing and the real idea is just to do it for fun, not just to earn money, because the
Yeah.
money is very difficult to get it.
Mm,
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I agree with you.
this is something that people normally don't know, and I think we need to start with the truth, no?
mhm.
Yep.
You
But
tell them
anyway,
the esports is still a hobby in its early stages, but in the future, the opportunity, it's limitless. Like the
mm,
chances and the opportunities esports will
yeah,
offer are limitless. But for now, it's still a new ecosystem, so people have to
exactly.
don't have to just rush it. It's like cryptocurrency or all that. Don't just rush it. Take your time. Just slow down, people. It's not going to disappear anytime soon.
Mm, exactly.
So
But also
speak.
study and get your degree.
Of course, have a backup plan. Like always, don't risk
Yep.
it. Don't risk
Exactly.
something. Like always have a plan B for everything.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know there are a lot of players. I mean, in my case, in our club, there was a lot of players that they were like, "I'm going to leave my studies." They were in the high school or maybe starting the university. I'm going to leave my studies just to focus on the esports. And I was like, no, that's not the idea. Just
Yeah.
continue with your studies and just take this like a hobby,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
because it's very
I agree.
difficult.
So speaking of which, as long as we're talking about how esports is a new ecosystem, in your opinion, what would you, from your expertise, add that esports is currently lacking now that it should implement to make it better in the future?
That's a very tough question.
No mercy.
um, I think right now, well, I don't have the answer to your question, but I know that there is a big issue when it comes to the system of teams, like esport teams. I know for a fact that most are not making any money and they're
Mhm.
only losing. Even the biggest teams out there, like TSM, like 100 Thieves, all these teams are actually losing money. And this is something like even Toast talked about and Ludwig. And so I'm really curious to see how we can make it a profitable business like
Mhm.
football or basketball, because those mainstream sports, I mean, for sure the teams are making money and not
Yeah.
losing it and losing it and losing it. Because if we keep going with this rate, there's going to be so many layoffs until the industry is just going to fall apart.
Mhm.
Which is kind of like already the start of it. Like there's so many layoffs, there's so many teams that are like terminating contracts. I mean, even Twitch laid off so many workers, and I mean, there is a crisis worldwide, regardless of esports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Economical clash. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I'm really curious to see how how teams are gonna sort this out. How big organizations are gonna be able to make a profit
Mhm.
instead of just losing money. And now I don't have the answer to that. Maybe someone who's in finance can give us the answer, but I think that would help a lot with sustaining the esports industry.
There was a sort of a debate that there was some form of mismanagement. I'm assuming because there was this part of the debate that there could have been sort of mismanagement and misconception that people think esports equals profit, or if you have a team, therefore you make profit, that they don't see that there's beyond, there's more to it, and there's risk because also, as you mentioned, that there's an economical system in the world that we have no control of, that if something randomly occurs it will influence esports directly, like COVID, for instance, I believe in
Yeah,
2019 to now.
yeah, for sure. But I just I don't know like what we're doing differently from the mainstream sports, and like why teams are losing so much money. Some are saying because they're paying the players way too much, but I don't think so. I feel
Mhm.
like also sports they pay their players millions of dollars too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the solution to that, to be honest.
Well, I think about that is because they need to be more integrated because esports, as we said, is a very small sector,
Mhm.
and people, most of the people don't know about that. So maybe one of the things could be maybe to be on public televisions, but
Mhm.
for public television, maybe they will need some licenses. Also, the editor of the video game will will um, give
Disagree?
the license. No, not disagree because they will give to give to the television a license, but they will probably want something back, no, about money,
Mm.
probably
Yeah.
the editors. Yeah, so maybe that's because it's a bit difficult to about to watch the esports in public televisions. And here in Spain, for example, just private channels just pay for to show the leaks, um
Mm.
I know that the editors usually get back some money, but because the television pay.
Mm.
But in
I
public
don't think
television,
the Yeah, I don't think the esports industry is small, to be honest. You know, the amount of people who watch, for example, Worlds for League of Legends is so much. There is so many people who watch, and I know
yeah,
for
but
a fact, like there
there
is
is
like
a dif-
viewerships.
yeah, but there is a difference because traditional sports is followed, but all of kind of ages. No, you have young people and adult people. Most of the time, the gaming and esports are watched only by young people. So
Mm.
I think that's why it's very difficult that grow ups in the same way as traditional sports. But who knows? Maybe in the future, I hope so. In the future, have the same
Yeah, I think in
audience.
China they already do. I don't know, but I feel like China maybe they
Yeah,
already have
Asia,
it, and
yeah,
it's
because
Yeah.
Asia
insane.
is another world.
It's yeah, it's a
Yeah,
different planet. It's like if it was a planet, China would be a planet of its own.
Yeah,
it is.
It's like
It is mainstream in China
yeah.
and
yeah.
Korea.
I know also in Asia there are programs in the schools, in preschools. There are also different subject about video games, but this is something that doesn't happen. That don't happen in the rest of the world.
It's too slow
Yeah.
paced. I mean, it's in China, which is great, but it should be also applied in the MENA region, in Europe, in US. Basically, raising awareness and showing the world that esports is not just for a specific group. It could be for
Yeah,
young, for old, for men, for women, for everyone. I've seen there were pro players and CS:GO pro players who are 70 years old. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, you know,
it's not restricted. I mean, we automatically think video games equals young people. No, that's not it. Video games is for everyone. I remember there was this granny who was streaming Skyrim, and
Yeah,
she
here
was
in
a
Spain there is another.
she was a sensation, and she proved that age is not a fact when it comes to gaming. I mean, you
Yeah.
could do whatever. That's the raising awareness that people need to learn about games. It's not for just a group of people, it's for
Yeah,
everyone.
that's why I said I need a lot of integration because it's not integrated at all. That's why.
Yep.
That's what we need, raising awareness. So hopefully we'll see the future of esports if it doesn't fall apart. I mean, if hopefully there will be a plan and it will improve, as a lot of things are occurring in the world. And we're seeing how it is, for example, in the MENA region when it comes to projects and ideas and investments to esports. Like, I believe there is a tournament being planned in Saudi Arabia with the pot being 45
Mm-hmm.
million. So you can only imagine the potential
Huge.
of it's scary. I mean,
That's Gamer 8, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
huge.
you could
Yeah,
imagine with this kind of investment that the MENA region actually is doing something. Now, hopefully, we'll see in the future. I think it was 2030. 2030, there is a Saudi Arabian strategy for esports in KSA.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there is a strategy, but hopefully by then the financial situation in the world is stabilized. There will be, a plan B for esports, and things will stabilize for the better.
hopefully.
Well, we
Yeah.
have to be optimistic. Who knows? I mean,
Yep.
they are talking about Counter Strike, the new edition, so that's a happy bonus for us all. Christina, any question on your end?
Yes, I would like to know if you have any, I mean, the most happier experience that you got in your experience in music. If you have
Um,
one or two or whatever you want.
I mean, I have a lot to be honest, but I'm gonna talk about the recent one, which was being part of Girl Gamer and casting it. It was such an amazing experience, and it was the first time I actually cast. So I really worked hard on it, and I'm really glad people actually liked it. And I had so much fun casting that I'm like seriously trying to find other opportunities as a caster. It was such an amazing event, and it was only like female teams from all over the world. So I got
Mm-hmm.
to meet so many amazing talents, and yeah, it was very good.
Oh, so nice.
All
I
right.
know about this event because I also collaborate in a magazine in Spain about esports. And I were talking about the Girls Gamers Fest, I think, no,
Yeah.
is the name?
Yes. Yeah. Girl Gamer
It's so
Festival
interesting. And it was in Arabia Saudi, I think.
in
Or maybe
Bahrain.
In Rahrain. Yeah, yeah.
Bahrain.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so interesting.
Kind of an
Okay.
interesting notion. So you've discovered your casting talent from an event.
Yes.
So here's let's call this the conclusion question, the finale question. What do you what is the skill you've applied to to discover your skills as a caster? Like, what is the technique you've applied?
It's in the end of the day, we work in an entertainment industry, and you just have to remember that you have to be entertaining, and you have to like make people laugh or just want to listen to you talk, and control like how you speak, like your tone, when to speak loud, when to put it down,
Mhm.
when to hype something, when not to hype something, grow your vocabulary. And of course, you have to learn about the game as much as you can. But it feels like what's most important is like the voice, how you sound,
Mhm.
how you articulate certain things, and what you talk about.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
If there was a person that have shy personality, which advice or give him if they want to introduce as a casting person?
I'm confused. What's the
I
Someone.
mean,
question?
if there is, yeah, if someone that has shy personality, I mean, someone that is like
Okay.
a bit scared about to talk in public.
Low
Uh,
self-esteem, perhaps.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I mean, casting would be the perfect thing because they don't see you
Yeah,
on camera,
I
you
was.
know.
Mhm.
Okay,
So it's not like being an
okay,
analyst or host. Casting, no one see like they barely see you, so
okay.
you can feel more comfortable
Mhm.
speaking up. You know.
Okay, okay,
So
nice.
it's already
So
there.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
Was so interesting, honestly.
someone
So
with a
interesting.
social phobia could actually follow this kind of
Yeah.
career to improve themselves and become more social.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
interesting.
Christina's already tempting, thinking of it. Yeah, I'm gonna do casting
Yeah.
soon.
Go
No,
for
no,
it. Go
no.
for
I'm not
it.
gonna do. No,
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not gonna do casting because
You
I'm really bad casting. But it's really interesting because I was a shy person in my past, but I changed when I study education teacher because the first day the professor of the university said, "Okay, you have to go to in front of the class and you have to start to talk," and I was like, "What?"
uh, the
So yeah,
horror,
that's why.
scary
So
movie.
yeah, it's really interesting. I really love this question because she said that people probably won't want watch you, and you will talk without any problem.
Yeah.
Really
But eventually, you have to go to an event and stand in front of people. So shy moments unleashed. It's like you're gonna panic.
It's okay. It's gonna be great. Just believe in yourself.
Leave and go nuts.
And as a cast, do you have? Yeah, I don't know. Did you cast something like League of Legends and also
Yeah.
Valorant? Or
League of
okay,
Legends.
did you have to study about the gameplay, or sometimes it's not necessary? Because I know that there are difference between cast and also analyst. Because it's not
No,
really
actually, you have to study the game. Like,
okay.
you have to know what's going on.
Okay, okay, okay.
I mean, you can't shout, this random person shot his ulti and killed someone. It's like, okay, what's the name
Yeah,
of
I
this
mean,
Yeah,
how
random
would
because
you
I
know
person?
know
that's
no,
wrong?
it's just I know that there are people that know about the game, but maybe don't know about specific things about the video game. Here in Spain, at least, they usually put a general caster, but the other person is like more analyst caster.
Yeah.
That's what we do here in Spain. But that's why I
There's
ask all this question.
play-by-play caster and shoutcaster. The play-by-play is the one who's like, "Ah, blah, 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 this is going on, blah, blah, blah," and there's the
Okay,
color caster. I was the color caster.
Hmm.
okay, okay, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel like ever trying about shoutcasting, or is it too exhausting?
Um,
It's
maybe I need more like game knowledge, to be honest, because you have
and
to like say so much stuff in such a short period of time. I feel like it needs more game knowledge.
and you need to be exceptionally hyperactive and insane. It's like
That's yeah, we have that. It's no
it's
worries.
like my lord, you
We
literally
have
have
the
to go
energy.
it's like you have to go insane. You have to literally become Jinx in real life.
No worries.
So I believe we should wrap this up. Christina, would you love to do the
Yep.
honors?
So where you-
All yours. I
I
mean,
mean,
do the
if you
finale.
want, I can do the finale.
Yes, please, with a smile on your face. All yours.
Okay, guys. Well, this is the end of the episode and the show. Momoko, was a pleasure to in the program, and also Nadine, as always. Please, to know about the next programs, just follow all of our corners about Good Academy, maybe Kumiho is, but also sometimes public something. Well, just I hope you enjoy this episode. Nadine, if you want to
Thank
say something.
you.
Of course. First of all, Momoko, a very true pleasure to have you here. It was very educational and knowledgeable. Thank you very much for your time. And if you'd like to tell the audience where to follow you on social media,
Ah,
Yeah, well, before that, thank you so much for having me. It was really entertaining to talk to you guys and refreshing. Usually, I'm on the other end of the one doing interview, so it's nice to be interviewed once in a while. So thank you for that. And you can all find me on like uh, Instagram, Momoko13, and there's a I don't know the name in English. Um,
Lash,
it,
a lash,
it's
a, a
it's
dash,
thinking.
a
It's
dash
not a
at the end.
dash.
No?
I'm gonna type it here. You guys just put it, edit it. I don't know.
discover. It's either a dash or
This
an underscore.
underscore
Yay!
Okay,
thing.
okay.
It's, discovered.
Yeah,
So,
you can follow me on Instagram, and then you will find the link tree that has all my socials. So thank
well,
you.
there you go. Thank you very much. And to all our audience, till we meet again soon. Take care.